the story
pick and choose what they want to live.
That's a fact, and that's the biggest thing.
Pick and choose what part of the Bible they want to apply, and that's just it. We're not going to
go to hell on it about homosexuals. That's in the Bible.
Please don't.
If you don't like them, all right, that's fine. You don't like them, but don't say it's because of the Bible, because you pick and choose what you want to
apply.
I really hate people that pick and choose what they want to use in anything, but especially the Bible. And a lot of old heads do that. Like they'll be like, "Oh, you can't do this and that." But then I'll be looking over there, I'm like,
but you had sex out of wedlock.
Right, I'm like,
but you cheat on your wife.
Fucking Pastor Jacob, and you got a wife, and they be like, mind your business. Like, this is grown.
But you stealing from the collection plate. Like, come on.
That's just it, though. It's a big double standard with a lot of things, and calling it out and trying to keep it 100.
I'm just a young nigga, I'm a ball like I'm Kobe. And off this Henny, I might OD. If a nigga running up, he better show me. Have a nigga leaking slowly. Man, I'm just trying to...
Y'all know this ScreamATMePodcast. This day.
This Kev, what's going on?
Keep our ear to the streets. We love y'all. Thanks for all the support.
Like, comment, share. Let us know what y'all talking about.
Yeah,
let's get into it.
Thus far. First thing we want to talk about is Entanglement's the song by August Alsina and Rick Ross. I called it last week. I said it was going to come out. I didn't expect it to come out this soon, but I guess you want to hit it while it's hot. And we're not going to touch on it for too long, but I do want to know, like, both of y'all after listening to it, what are y'all thoughts about it? Y'all really care? I don't care much, but we brought it up last week, and I felt like he was going to do it. I don't feel like it's really one of those I want you back songs that you like crazy shit like that. I feel like it's just for the ratings. Like, while it's hot, drop the song.
Just a thing for the ratings. At the same time, it spends the attention back to the album to see if he dropped any other subliminals or any other songs or whatever. It just makes people want to listen to it. Like you said, we called the joint last week. Ross was smart enough to put the video out there, the little clip out there on Instagram telling them that they need to make the song, and they dropped that joint. Like,
yeah, I think Ross just got on it for the fact. He like, this shit gonna get some. It's gonna get some views. It's a little easy money.
It's definitely gonna get some views. But see, I ain't gonna hold you. We now in like almost a 3-week back and forth where the attention goes from one party to the next.
But even with this song, I don't feel like it would too much on him. Like the focus still on Will and Jada. Like,
of course it is.
He got like a small percentage.
I ain't gonna hold you. Did y'all see Lil Jon over the weekend when he made the little video comment in 2020 with somebody throwing the TV at him from the second show? Like that joint was kind of funny just to capitalize on the moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, they're all in entertainment. They're all in media. They all gotta figure out a way to drop these damn dollars. And
that's like drawing out.
This guy ain't gonna hold you. Even if it ain't them personally, it's somebody, you know, that's on their team, you know, like the crisis manager last time to, you know, a PR person, you know, on this front, you know, to just find a way to keep it relevant, to gain some more attention, to keep them views up, keep them streams up, keep that.
That's a fact. It's still staying like relevant, but I don't feel like it's too relevant.
It's pointless.
So much other shit going on in the media right now that I feel like most people move on from it. And that's basically what we're going to do. But something I have been seeing in the media like that I want to talk about that everybody's been talking about is Tory little ass shooting or supposedly
he
shooting.
Gotta be little ass.
Yo, when I seen that this nigga was 5'3", bro, like when I think about the amount of people, yo, Kevin Hart like 5'5", and I look at him kind of like a midget. I think Uzi like 5'4".
At least Kevin Hart, like he got some
but Kevin wasn't always like that. You know, once he got a little bit of money, he started getting in the gym or being healthier. Then he got swole. But yeah, Tory. Bro, 5'3", 120, soaking wet, bro.
You seen the meme where it was like a dad
little
picking
boy
up the little
picking He wild for that,
though, but I don't know, man. I don't know. We wasn't there, dog.
I want to know the real. Yeah, that's what I said. That's the biggest thing. Like to be a fly on the wall in that situation would have been amazing. Like,
cause she then came out with like different variations of the story too. Like at first it was a speculation of if she shot her, then she put a post up saying that, you know, she was set up by a manager and he came to her defense. But, you know what I'm saying, from a person that shot a gun, I don't understand how if we get in the car and you get off the car to run,
right?
How do I shoot you by accident? Like, I'm just not.
That's another situation.
Unless you run up towards the jaw, like, that's just crazy shit that go on, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I think she gonna write. Like, she gonna end up telling who.
I'm sorry. I don't think so.
I do.
I wanted Kylie to do it, but then I'm like, Kylie kind of like, I'm not in it.
Come on, dog. At the end of the day, they real life people trying to hold up an
Yeah, I don't think it's because like some
industry.
G shit or nothing like that, but I feel like the mystery kind of
It is
it
what
kind
it
of
is.
sells
It's
it a
another
little bit.
story, dog. And all, I ain't gonna hold you. She fucking.
You think she actually might have been with Tory? She was wilding like
Might
she
have
was
been
out with a
with-
lot of
what
people.
you mean? Might have been
like
with how?
not been with him like in a relationship, but like fucking around with him a little bit.
I mean, I ain't gonna hold you, dog. They're in that industry.
Bro, but she's
you
6
know,
foot.
We can
You
speculate.
think of her
fucking
tall
around,
ass
like,
fucking with somebody that's 5'3"?
That's probably why he's shy. She probably put that thing on him.
Man,
Cheer shit.
real shit. He perfect height to eat her ass. Like,
Standing
I'm
up.
sorry. Like, it's that real shit. Like, something she ain't never had done before. Like, you know, you never know if that's what it was. Like, at the same time, they could have just been chilling. You know, drinking, smoking, whatever, and some shit was
Did
left.
you see the picture when she got shot? Did y'all see the white boy like in the street? It was like a white body in the street, like dead, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if it was photoshopped or what, but I seen it on like every picture on the share room and everything. And I was reading the comments, and they was like, "But nobody gonna talk about the body in the corner of the picture." And I seen it. It's a whole body in the street, no shirt on, laying down, and it looked real as day. I don't think it was photoshopped, but yeah, like I don't know what was going on with that situation.
I
But
seen all of the memes, but I ain't see that.
Somebody gonna rat eventually. It was one girl, I don't know who the fuck she is, but she was like Megan got shot or whatever. But I wasn't the one who with the gun. Like, what the fuck? Oh yeah, she's gonna brat.
yeah, somebody gonna end up talking.
I don't know who the girl is.
I think it's gonna be a side party. I feel like it
they
is gonna
shot
be a
you
side
because they
party.
ain't want you twerking no more, sweetheart. That's all that shit is. Don't let them hate. You know what I'm saying? Just let your foot heal.
Keep doing your thing.
Keep doing your thing. You know, rest that leg up so you get back out there and drop it low. You know what I'm saying? You be her good.
At least she got shot on her foot.
Yeah, it was your foot. You know what I'm saying? Life happens.
Yeah, I feel like Megan one of the hottest out right now, or the hottest, not one of, because she obviously the one. She's
The
obviously
hottest?
one of
Fuck no.
the hottest female artist out right now.
Oh.
Not like in general, but female artists.
No,
Like,
I
you feel like right now,
Right now,
buzzing more
Megan
than
or
Cardi over
Cardi
Nicki
or Nicki.
Well, Nicki, they just said Nicki pregnant. She came out some
I
pregnancy.
don't know
pics.
if she buzzing more than, you know what I'm saying?
It's just because they not dropping it. If
Yeah,
Beyonce,
I mean, but that means
Nicki, Cardi, if any of them drop today or tomorrow, Megan going to the next
that
season.
means she over there. Because if they not dropping, that's their opportunity to season I see. So right now, I feel like she is. I feel like
She's
she
relevant, dog. She
Yeah, very. I feel like
relevant
she very
and
relevant.
popping. Like, you mean, she doing her thing.
City Girls, like nobody dropping right now. She the only person. She on every feature. She the only female that's really.
I think even if City Girls was dropping, I don't think they're on Megan level. Like Megan is up there at this point. City Girls, they good,
Yeah, the
but
best song of last year.
song. Megan's been putting out songs in an album, like all
It
of that
only
shit.
take
Like,
one song to be hot.
but that's what I'm saying. What did you do after that? Like they put out a couple other joints that got a little.
I don't know. I don't listen to the motherfuckers.
But that's
I
my
don't
point.
know.
Like she's showing like not longevity, but like she's showing consistency. She's consistently putting out.
There's more hot girls
tracks.
than
The
no, it's
City
more
Girls?
city girls than hot girls.
You think so?
She got it. She riding her way.
I think they the same clip. It's just double-sided name tag and shit like that. But sticking in the media, another thing I want to talk about is the Nick Cannon situation.
Oh, man.
So as everybody knows, Nick Cannon in an interview said some things and it was deemed anti-Semitic. And because of that, Viacom basically severed all ties with him after him being with them for over a decade. It's been a very long time. I got a lot to say about it. Before I get into it, though, I want to know what do y'all both have to really say about it. Like, what are y'all views? Do y'all feel like
I don't
he
understand
was
why.
right or
I
wrong?
don't really understand why it's really an issue. Like, what did he say that was wrong? Like,
Did you
why-
watch the interview?
I didn't watch the whole interview. I haven't heard the like specific quotes that he said, but
Basically, what he said, basically what he was claiming is that black people are truly what Jewish people are pretending to be. Basically said that Jewish people stole what was rightfully ours and they use it as theirs. And he brought up the Rothschild and like banks and all that
where
stuff.
did he
But
lie?
yeah, that's the point. Like, I'm a Hebrew Israelite, so when he was calling us Hebrews and I was being Jews isn't something like I follow all of that. I feel like I just keep it strictly what it is. But what he was saying is everything that I've been brought up on since I converted to it. Like, our lifestyle is the lifestyle that they pretend to have now. Like, we're the people of the Bible. I feel like a lot of people believe that whether it's Jewish or Christianity, they believe that the people in the Bible are told from the story of black people. That's basically what he said.
Even if it's not true, how is that anti-Semitic?
Because it's not the narrative that they once said.
Yeah.
Come on, dog.
And he was something that he said that like was like a small dig at him. But yeah, the biggest thing is that it was not what they want to say.
That's like he's saying
It's a small dig at him when they pay him millions to portray an image of something he's not.
That's a big fact.
Once he made a comment that was not along the narrative of what this huge corporation and multi-billion-dollar fund or company, whatever, wants to get spilled out, then it's an issue. He said nothing wrong. And to be perfectly honest, I think that's where the black community got mad. The fuck are you apologizing for?
That's my biggest thing. Stand by your word. Like,
You know what I'm saying?
don't apologize. And I feel like I get it. Like, he wanted to save more so his. I don't think he cared too much about the money, but it's the reputation that he has to have going forward with other companies.
I think that he handled that comment and he did it right. He said in the beginning, I'm going to say this as best I can.
Yeah, as best I can.
Because this is a touchy conversation. Exactly. And it's really only a touchy conversation once you start to dig deeper into it. But at the same time, all he did was speak fact and truth. He did, I think, like, misquote Hitler or some shit like that. Like, don't get me wrong. You know, come on, man. You're trying to go off the whim. There's so much stuff that you got to remember, try and think about it and all of that stuff. Like, even if he did have notes in an interview, like, don't get me wrong, it is very important to be precise and make sure you're giving the right information. But at the same time, people mess up all the time and they don't get digs at him like he did. But because he was on the platform that he is, and it wasn't the narrative that Viacom wants their people saying, while it's still okay for them to portray the image of, on MTV, of the black people in the jokes and, you know, the baggy pants and the over gaudy jewelry and all the other dumb shit of the image of what they want us to look like, that shit is okay. But once he sits down and he got a turban on and he really trying to speak some facts, and don't get me wrong, this is what needs to happen. Those are the uncomfortable conversations that people don't want to weigh into. But that's the shit that needs to happen.
That's why I commended the interview itself, but I didn't like that. My biggest thing was that I really didn't like that he apologized. While I understand why he was like, because at first his first couple of tweets was kind of like, I stand by what I said. And then after that, he further apologized. I think because he's seen the unraveling of what would happen. But this also really just shows you just how powerful these white and Jewish people are. Exactly. Because we can't even get cops arrested for wrongfully killing our black asses. But we say something that hurts somebody's feelings, and y'all fire niggas. Y'all so and he's making them so much money. Like, so fucking the time he got with Wildin' Out, with Nickelodeon, all of that stuff, y'all fired him because he hurt somebody's feelings. Emotional. And if he said something that was, and the thing I don't like that a lot of news reporters are saying is that he falsely reported something. Don't like, and I get it, they gotta say that, but don't do that. News report. But like even on
news reporters falsely report shit all the fucking time. Exactly. I swear on everything. If I could ever pick my dream job, it would be a meteorologist. Why? Because I can go on fucking camera every day and say with a chance of or the possibility, and everybody shut the fuck up. I didn't look at no goddamn forecast or do no real research or really pay attention to them fucking sonars and radars that they have. All they gotta say is with a chance of. They can literally get the fuck on right now today, this afternoon, and say there's a possibility we may have snow tomorrow. Right. No shit. But that's what I'm saying. As long as they say that there's a possibility of, or, you know, quote or whatever, like, you know, this is where I got it from or whatever, they get covered. But because he said that shit, like, you know what I'm saying? It's bullshit.
I think Nick Cannon ended up apologizing because he said, like, he talked to Jewish people, he had Jewish friends, and, like, if he offended them, like, all right, he's sorry.
But again,
I get that too, but my thing is this. If you're not, how can you offend them with the truth?
Exactly.
Like, if I'm telling you that you white, whole time you think you black, but you really are white, do you look in the mirror and you realize you white? How do I apologize for offending you?
Why did I offend you?
Like, anything
don't get me wrong. Even talking to a Jewish person or someone of a different nationality to this extent, let's have the real conversation. We can pull up the Bible.
No bullshit. I do this when I talk to people, I bring this stuff up all the time.
We can go to the Bible, scripture by scripture, where it is noted to say who and what the original people look like. And I'm sorry if it hurts your feelings, but he did not have blonde hair and blue eyes.
And not only that, it's the story, like the stories portrayed in the Bible, add up nothing with the Jewish lifeline. Like, the Holocaust was very tragic. But even that has the story behind that has nothing to do with the story of the people of the Bible from start to finish. When you look at black people's lives, not knowing who we are, being separated as a nation, taking all of our strengths and power for being disobedient within biblical times, everything adds up. Everything makes sense. Everyone but us know who we are as a people. Mm-hmm. Everyone has their lineage. Everyone knows literally great-great-great-grandfather type of historic facts about their family. We're the only people who have nothing. No identity, no name. We got taken and our identity got stolen. And in a sense, that was spoken about in the Bible. Like, it was said that it would happen, and it's literally happening today. But I mean, we live in a world where a lot of people don't focus on those type of facts. But the same Bible that people claim to live by is telling the story that
it's not what they want to live.
That's a fact, and that's the biggest thing.
Pick and choose what part of the Bible they want to apply, and that's just it. We're not going to
go to hell on it about homosexuals. That's in the Bible.
Please don't.
If you don't like them, all right, that's fine. You don't like them, but don't say it's because of the Bible, because you pick and choose which you want to
apply.
I really hate people that pick and choose what they want to use in anything, but especially the Bible. And a lot of old heads do that. Like, they'll be like, "Oh, you can't do this and that." But then I'll be looking over there, I'm like,
but you had sex out of wedlock.
Right, I'm like,
but you cheat on your wife.
You fucking Pastor Jacob, and you got a wife, and they be like, mind your business. Like, this is grown.
But you stealing from the collection plate. Like, come
on. That's just it, though. It's a big double standard with a lot of things, and the calling it out and trying to be keeping 100, as we would say, but to be honest and factual, which is what it is. Then people get sensitive and emotions get hurt, which is crazy to me, because the storyline is that, if anything, my emotions
should be hurt. What kind of depression I should be like? This has been an ongoing story. They did to him. Like, come on now, for 10, 12 years, this man has not only reinvented himself in the fucking show, but what other show disappeared, and then they revamped it for show, and now this shit.
What other show on MTV do you watch? Yeah, like,
I watch
I watch the challenge, but other than that,
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's it's a competitive show, but biggest point being, you don't really.
I didn't even know they own BET. Like, what the fuck? Jewish people own BET? Like, they making money and capitalizing off of.
But it's called Black Entertainment Television.
They got a black CEO and all that, but the whole thing is owned by Jewish people.
Right.
The whole time I'm thinking we got our own award show and everything.
Oh man. And I ain't gonna hold you. If you looked at the BET Awards over the years, in the beginning, that joint was shit. You know what I'm saying? It was just got taken over, and they started to really put production and real money into it, because y'all don't want to be seen and want to be silent partners, but you're capitalizing billions off of this melanin skin and this culture.
I honestly don't know about that.
And that's my point. That's where black-owned businesses need to come into play, because situations like this, if BET was actually owned by a black person in a situation similar to this, like, all right, he got dropped from MTV. I promise you, the nigga on BET that owned it, or the man that owned it on BET, would have been like, that's just like telling LeBron, we don't like your hairline. You gotta get off the team. Every other team gonna be picking LeBron up. We don't care. Like, that comment might be something that somebody don't like or they don't stand for. But it's also something that's like,
come over to Revolt TV, but like,
and I seen it.
What channel was Revolt TV on? Like,
I know Revolt's on the internet, but
I'm not going online to watch TV.
But it's not the same. But it's not the same. You know what I'm saying? While it's the platform online, what MTV offered and the viewers and the ability of the mass stream,
the credibility
behind it, all of it. MTV is still an international platform. That thing is across the country, and to be able to get to the masses the way he did, but get the response that he did, and from the community and even from those outside. I mean, when you look around his audience, it's a mixed crowd and has been for years, because it's funny, it's comical, and it's now like it's new. It was fresh. It was, something that people haven't seen. So I get why, the platform, it doesn't have a race. It doesn't have a color. It's for everybody, but, we can identify with it more. We get some of those styles and those jokes.
You got the white corny comedians,
but they got a little bit of everybody.
Was it Justine?
I love the classroom joint that they do. You know what I'm saying? I'm a drummer. I grew up with that banging on the desk kind of shit. So I love that shit. And again, it just taps into so much. And then all of those 12
old school,
all of the people,
so much creativity. That they've come up with within that, and that's what makes me a little upset that he can't take none of that with him. Like,
No, he can't.
They going to replace him, put new codes, whatever.
The thing
but
is,
they keep
do you think all the people that he got on there will leave with him?
No.
I think, but see, I ain't
Like, they gonna risk their bag?
That's where we're different. I think that they will.
Like they all.
That's my point. I think that's my biggest thing.
They love Nick.
I think they do love Nick, and I think some of the people that's been there for a while and that are like established, like Justina, she's been there for a while. She's been on other shows and like stuff because of her name.
They wouldn't even have still been there.
That's a fact.
Because they've all taken stabs. If you
I think
really
a lot of
watch
people might
the
look at
show,
it as just
my
business,
kids
though.
love it. So, and I watch it a little bit. You know, not as constant, but I do watch the shit. But all of them have taken stabs at the network firing them, but Nick holding them down to bring them the hell back. So I think in this case, it would only be right to return that favor. I mean, Wildin' Out was just the idea to get it out there. What it is now is an umbrella of true entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Those old school and new school, you talk about anywhere between 10 to almost 30 different acts, styles of entertainment, funny, stylish, marketable.
I feel like a lot
of
of
people touch Wildin' Out.
I feel like
everybody
knows
the Kevin Hart, Mike Epps,
and the way that they pull in the celebrities,
but that's my point. I think that he can do. Like, I think he can pull the guest stars in, and I think some of the people like Chico Bean, DCM Fly, those guys, they self-established and like they have the 85 South Show. Like they have other like streams of revenue, but it's like the people that only are doing Wildin' Out, that's still like just Instagram people that's really just trying to get a bag so they can do something else. I don't see them leaving because the bag will be the same.
Take away the DCM Flies, the Chico, the BC.
Yeah, the show won't die, but they're going to try their best to revive it or keep it the same. And I mean, I really do encourage him to make his own. I don't know if it's somewhere.
If he make his own, they gonna come with him.
If he make his own, they gonna come with him. And I feel like the smart thing is, if you're one of the bigger people from Wildin' Out, make sure you renegotiate that contract to be more than just a little employee. Like, add a little bit in there. Like, Nick, I know this shit thing, but like me taking it just to come with you, I need a little bit more incentive than what they gave me. Maybe not now, but over time, don't keep me in the same position that they kept me in. Like, help me build myself up so I can be on a platform similar to you.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, to an extent, but at the same time, from a business standpoint and being Nick, I can't do that with all 13 to 15.
Nah, that's why I said the big name people though, like the people like DCM Fly, that's Musty TV, Chico Bean, maybe them and like two other people, Justina, Carlos, and then it's like, but those are like they like the S tier people. Then you go down to like the A tier, the B tier. Those A tier, B tier people can't do that, but the S tier people, the people that's Musty TV, like I go over there to watch those people.
Most of the people on there is the A tier people, like. It just be people. Some people just be standing in the background, and it's probably like 5 or 6 people.
That's why I said the A tier people. No, you got to get the S tier people only, like the superstars. You can definitely clearly like separate them a little bit, but that's my point. It's funny, and I do feel like having any other co-host, it won't be the same at all. Like the vibe won't be the same. So I don't know if he's going to do his own thing, but over time, I think it would be dope if he did do it.
I would want them to all put their own money together and make their own network.
Man, shout out to Nick Cannon, man.
Nick got Nick got friends in the industry somewhere. Like he been in this for a long time.
Big in the industry.
Like Diddy and Jay-Z and Dr. Dre, they can put some money together.
Exactly, y'all can really do this.
I can see Jay-Z doing it. Like,
and this is those kinds of opportunities. Instead of it being talk, let's just get together and really do.
Right, get it done.
And to a point, where it ain't like one person gotta manage that whole boatload. Dog, like 4 or 5. Give me 10, 20 million. We can start this whole jump.
Yeah.
What it would turn into, like it's no different than Kevin Hart starting his own entertainment full network. The Laugh Out Loud network. It's way and there's so much more there for me. I'm saying there's so much more money, and you can give people the chances to put them on to make more and become better for themselves. That's exactly what Nick did. So this is
crazy how relevant Nick stayed. Well, like staying relevant in TV is not easy, and it's like I've never heard his music. I know like
that's what I was about to say. Shout out to Nick Cannon because your music, was the worst, but. You've made it like you knew that wasn't it. You knew that shit, and you took the switch and went into acting.
He ain't been in a movie in a while either.
But I ain't gonna hold you. He tried it out. Like he knew that wasn't it. But this is
I say you gotta think he been out here since Drumline. He did the joint where he was like the FBI agent, like all of them movies was good. Like it was good.
Alimony from Mariah Carey.
And then he got into TV, and you think like he was hosting a few things. Like then he had his own podcast. The Masked Singer.
Yeah, man.
He said they're not firing him either.
Yeah, and that's my thing, and I like that. I know he did step away from, I think, doing like the radio show that he do in Cali, but with all of this going on, maybe you should. Like, that might be better. Step away so that they don't fire you. Like, make that type of decision just so you can be smart on the business thing. But I do feel like you should double down.
Boycotting Viacom? Or
do you know what all Viacom?
I ain't gonna lie.
I say most Viacom viewers.
Yeah, like
I
everywhere.
I tried. I'm like, oh no. I wanted to watch Martin. I said, oh no, this is Viacom. It was like BET, MTV, MTV2,
right.
TBS.
Right.
I couldn't. It's either sports or nothing. Like I can't watch Martin no more. My wife hates kids. Everybody hates Chris. There's nothing I can watch. I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. I ain't boycotting this.
I mean, but that's my thing. Like, with us as a people, if you're gonna boycott them, that's like all well and fine, but then you gotta realize
if everybody else not gonna do it, what the fuck am I boycotting for? I'm missing out on my own entertainment.
You want TV,
right?
Yeah, bro. You want subscribers.
I get that to an extent. My thing is this though, like, I mean, if everyone had that mentality, we'll never work towards it. It has to be someone to start it.
But I can't start it.
I mean, bro, there's people that's been in less positions than you that start some real big shit. So don't say that. But I'm saying almost all of these networks are owned by white people that would have done the same thing. Now they may not have done it because the opportunity didn't pop up, but if we don't have our own, it'll always be a situation like this going on. And that's why I really feel like I'm just waiting for that to happen. Like the day that they really, it's not that, because I feel like it can happen easily, but we have to support it as a group, as a unit. We have to all be behind it for it to flourish, for it to be relevant, for it to really become a major network where stuff like this won't happen as much. Like, I'm not saying that us being our own black community is perfect, but shit like this won't happen.
It's a lot of us, but I don't think it's enough of us for us to be divided. Like, white people half the people cannot give a fuck, and they still got enough to get done what they need to get done.
Get the agenda.
Us, if we not all together, it's only 12% of us in the United States. That's a lot. But if we divide it, if 6% don't give a fuck, we ain't got enough.
Right, true. That's a fact. So do y'all think he will start to appear back on TV? I don't think, like, do y'all think he'll ever be back with Viacom?
This would be a minor setback. I ain't gonna hold you. The way things is going now, and it's kind of crazy that it takes this movement or whatever, but the way they're getting the backlash that they're gonna get from all of this, they probably hit him with an apology, a check, and try, you know what I'm saying? Because
I feel like they have him back. I feel like once they realize Wildin' now,
he's not gonna work without him. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work without him.
You gotta drop it because,
it's not gonna work without
like,
him.
I remember I seen 50 post something like, they reportedly like asked Michael Blackson to do it. Bro, Michael Blackson is a funny dude, but he could never do it the way Nick do it. Like, it's not like Nick is the funniest, but he's so well around
relationship.
Yeah, with those people, like the chemistry Nick got with them people, like over time,
they friends outside of the show.
Yeah,
we don't fucking know.
And that shit, it shows they gel. They really mesh well together.
Like they really
takes time. Like
more like a family. Like some of them people say that, like they look at them as family because all these seasons adding up. Yeah, and like taking the head of it out, like taking a leader out, bro. Everybody else gonna fall kind of. Like
that's the thing about big corporations and stuff. You know, they look at everything like machines, and regardless to how we or the unit values pieces, they feel as though everything's movable and interchangeable. So don't get comfortable or content, or if you don't perform to their level, or if you say something against their grain.
My final word on it is stand on your word, like stand firm, because if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. That's something I always say to people. So you can't stand on something that you believe in this way. Eventually, you might not stand for something you believe in that way. And belief is everything.
Unless what you said was like taken the wrong way, you need to clarify.
Or if you was honestly wrong, but if you weren't wrong,
if you said what you said, if it hurt your feelings, I don't give a fuck.
I'm very unapologetic.
They don't give a fuck about hurting our feelings.
Bro, they don't give a fuck about killing us. Fuck our feelings.
I can still want to say this though. You know, some may say it's in the defense of him or whatever, but it's something that I mentioned before. In these workplace situations, when you do something to stand for something that goes against their image, motto, or whatever, and his livelihood is now at stake. That man still got kids, he still got a family, he still has a whole line of people that he takes care of and supplies for. That was a big part of his money train. Not to say that was his only income, but that's a big hit. So to an extent,
Fuck that.
I
You
will
portray
not-
to be the guy that will speak on things, which he does, and like his podcast and stuff like that. You gotta be that guy.
But it's variable in differences, and some don't want to understand it. But you have to look at the full circumstance. I did my part of speaking my piece. I did my part of speaking for my people. But what's fucking me up is now the company has an issue. Now my check is in fucking, shambles, in limbo, not knowing if the joint gonna come. No matter what, dog, these motherfuckers still gotta eat.
Are they not
Bills
going
still
wild
won't
out
get
no
paid.
more? Like,
I don't know.
I don't
did they
think
just
they-
stop?
I don't
doing
think
Right, I'm saying, like, do they cancel the
I don't
reruns?
think
Like,
they fully pulled everything or whatever yet, but you know what I'm saying, like all of that's going to have to come up
They
in
cancel
some
reruns,
kind of
that's
discussion.
ridiculous, too.
Like, it's just.
I
fuck
get all
it,
of that. I
Nick.
definitely do get it. But
Do
I feel
your
like
thing,
Ben
dog.
Nick, he can. I feel like he can take that risk. That's all I'm saying. Because not everyone else sabotages him. Now, of course, it still
No,
is a big
100%.
shot. Yeah, like Nick he got money. He said he still has his little headphone label. Like he got himself in so many things. Like Nick is touching a lot. That of course he don't have to risk it. I mean, but he can. That's my biggest thing. And if you can, and if you're going to stand for it, just don't turn back.
Bro, they got the same hustle by grind, dollar by dollar mentality we got out here living paycheck to paycheck. Again, I'm not excusing or being apologetic, but at the same time, regardless, that is a family man who money just got put in limbo due to a comment he made. Okay, this may be how I feel, but if the company got an issue and this now fucks up the bag, if the company will feel better than I say I apologize, but I ain't going back to re-record that shit. The statements out, the comments out, it is what it is, because that's my piece on it. But I still gave y'all apology. I will do that to try and make sure I, as a man, can hold both. Some may say that this greedy, and you may say, like you said, you got to stand on that thing and ride it out the whole way through or whatever. It's money on the fucking line, man. I don't give a fuck how much.
Everything.
I don't fuck how
I
much
don't give a
bread-
fuck about money enough to try to do something I wouldn't do. I'm not
But
apologizing.
here's what I actually have to ask you in that regard. What did he do wrong that you think that he shouldn't? Like, to me, I don't see what the fuck he did wrong.
I think it's
Now he gave a knowledgeable explanation. He explained an entire timeline of lineage. That's just it. You don't want to go into his 3 facts, but he gave a foolproof joint with documented proof. Right. Some was fucked up, but majority was documented proof.
Exactly.
All right, I did my piece. I did my research. Me doing this interview or doing this whatever, I did my part. Now, you may not like it. Even the boy that he was sitting with, they went back and forth a couple times on different pieces. That's an interview. That's unbiased conversation. That's what really needs to happen in the boardrooms and a lot of other places, in our courthouses and our legislation offices and the whole nine. Unbiased fucking conversation. I don't care how you feel. This is what it is.
Yeah, that's my only point.
Care how you want to swallow it.
I don't
This is
want him
what
to
it
keep the
is.
marathon going. Like, I like that he stood for what he stood for. My thing is just, don't go back running and apologize. I don't want to see him have an apology a month from now to get back with Viacom. That's my biggest thing. I'm not saying I want him to do more. I just don't want him to do less.
We can agree to disagree on it, but at the same time, I get what you're saying, because to me, where I'm at with it, don't open that window because you're about to be apologizing all the time.
Don't keep going.
Once
You already
down
said
that
what you
lane.
said.
But
Leave your statement.
at the
I'm just
same
saying,
time,
don't go back
from
on- don't
the
go back on it.
father that has the obligation and the lifestyle of what I set for my family, not just my kids. They taking care of the moms, the grandmoms, the aunts, the uncles, paying the 14, 15 phone bills, getting cars, college tuitions. They got shit.
Right.
Okay? They have shit that's weighted on them.
You see how big his eyes open when
You know what I'm saying? Like, dog, because I ain't gonna hold you, yo. Like, I wish I had the bankroll to do it, but I got the fucking 6 kids and the 11 nieces and nephews, big. You think I'm gonna let the fucking comment that I would have to say on the podcast jeopardize the 6 kids and the 11?
It's different, bro. Like, I get it. Listen, I get it. I get the hustler's mentality the same, but bro, they're living different. Like, his money is going to keep coming in, and the amount of money he has, he don't need that shit.
Not necessarily, because that bread came in before this motherfucker got vocal about how he really feels. And we just talked about how long you knew Nick Cannon. Since when you heard this motherfucker start being as outlandish, or not as outlandish, but as outspoken as he is now? And look at what happened the first fucking time Nick Cannon gets into a negative headline. Nick Cannon, I think in his career, the only negative headlines was him actually getting a divorce. The rap career stuff we're not even going to get into. Him getting a divorce, the beef with Eminem, and now this. Do you know any other negative headline?
But that's why you're making my point. I don't want him to keep doing it. Like, I just don't want him to go back to it. You don't got to go back to Viacom and you'll still be fine as my
I'm not saying go back to Viacom. I'm saying do what you got to do to make sure that they damn
he already issued one apology for hurting feelings. My thing is, I don't feel like he needs to do any more.
Oh, definitely.
Like, leave it at that.
I wouldn't say anything else.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like a little miscommunication.
I wouldn't have said the apology.
Don't apologize no more.
I wouldn't have said the public
apology.
apology. You know, y'all want to talk to me in the office or whatever, and I ain't gonna hold you. If you work with me or if you know me, then you should know exactly where I stand. Whether we're on camera and it's live, or whether I'm behind closed doors, you're gonna get the exact same response. Now, don't get me wrong. Do I know how to polish this for the right person that I'm talking to? Yes. But at the same time, my point is my point, and that's just it. So I wouldn't have gave the apology. But at the same time, looking at the backlash that he has received, I would probably have issued the apology in that state just to try and give the chance to secure that bag that me and mine is used to make sure that we straight.
To me,
you know what I mean?
I just feel like my word is worth more than that money. Of course, everybody has their own value and stuff like that, but that's really my final say on it. But
it depends what I'm standing for. I ain't just gonna jump out the window and lose my bag for
that's
anything.
That's
But
a fact. It does depend. And to some people, this might not have been a big thing. To him, it might be or might not be a big or small thing. And it was like a couple of minutes of like this worth a couple of seasons or episodes or longevity and this and that business. So in that state, in that regard, I get it. But I don't know, man. There's certain things I won't go back on. But something like that, I can understand or see how someone can argue or justify going back on it. Me personally, I would have to be in a situation I'd give an honest opinion on how I would do it. I would have to see the amount of money he was getting. I would have to be the person that gave that statement. And I'd have to be the person getting this backlash. Because he getting backlash from both sides right now. Like from his own people and from people that aren't his own people. You know what I mean? Yeah, like once he sent the tweet talking about like, y'all can have this earth from out. Like, his feelings hurt. Yeah, I'm like, his feelings is genuinely hurt.
See, I ain't gonna hold you. You drawing right now, too. Get your punk ass off the fucking internet, dog. Go really use that money and channel yourself, you know. Go take that time to say that prayer, you know, like that sage, like that Dutch, whatever the fuck it is that you do. But, you know what I'm saying, sometimes everything ain't for the fucking internet, especially for them people that's already on social media and trending and all that shit. Like, I hate that stuff to an extent.
It's gonna be like a Tyrese moment.
Dog, like,
crying.
I hate that kind of shit. Like, I hate that to an extent. Like, you know what I mean?
It's doing too much, but I mean, you live your life on the internet. I feel like that's kind of how they are at that time. But
you live and die by the sword.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
my biggest thing is still shout out for going against the green.
Trust.
You don't have to often.
Do your thing, but I ain't gonna hold you. As we're resilient. That's the gracefulness and the beauty about us. So y'all think y'all stopping something, you ain't stopping shit. You know what I'm saying? May take a little bit, maybe a setback, whatever. Then you're gonna come back stronger and better than ever, and then y'all gonna regret the shit. So we'll wait and see.
Talking about people trying to stop stuff that's not stopping shit. I want to talk about those women that was defacing the Black Lives Matter mural that's on the street. Yo, the black woman, let me emphasize that was defacing the Black Lives Matter mural.
You gotta check. I'm convinced somebody.
That's exactly what I said. How convenient is it that this marked off mural can only allow one black woman to get in with paint? And all the media happened to be there
right
at the exact time.
The clearest cameras in the world.
To pop those cans and dump that paint.
Yo,
bitch, please, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm sorry, not in the sense of saying like,
and she had enough time to open the paint.
Yeah, like,
you don't like,
the cops was all fucking scarce and shit. Ma'am, you need to stop.
And the other time they would have restrained the shit.
Did you see the joint where the cop fell and he rolled in the back?
And the
come on, dog. Come on, that's all the stunt. That's all the stunt.
From being nailed doing
like a Trump Tower.
That's all the stunt, like that's all the stunt. But it's okay. You mean again, somebody that's trying to stop something like you said,
it ain't gonna stop shit. My biggest thing is how can you do like with everything going on? I know there are some like quote quote Uncle Tom's in this world. Yeah, the check might have been large. Like I wouldn't be surprised if they got paid for it. But it's like
200,000.
That check changed.
You said 200,000. That ain't stimulus money. That's real.
Changed her biscuit. I mean, but that's what politics is. That's what the media is. It is a fucking game. They do exactly what they need to do to make you feel how they want you to.
I got 2 questions for y'all. One, do y'all feel any way about her doing it? Like me personally, like while I get the action, I don't feel like any like disrespect. Like I feel like she did it. I don't feel like it don't hurt the movement or nothing like that. I just feel bad for seeing the representation. Like it's the representation of our people doing it to us. And I feel like that's the biggest thing though. It being out there, I feel like paints that picture of us not being unified.
If I was there, and I do not condone men touching women in an inappropriate manner, she deserved to get the shit slapped out of her.
I wouldn't have personally slapped her.
Yeah, you
female
better not be the dummy on the camera doing that.
She deserved to get the shit slapped out of her.
If a female slapped her, I ain't gonna stop.
She deserved to get the shit slapped out of her. I don't care what nobody got to say about nothing, you know what I'm saying? Y'all motherfuckers, we done walked around how many Confederate flag statues and all of that shit, never took a piss, spray painted or nothing on it. If you can do that and hold your fucking head high, what the hell was the point of you doing that shit? You want to go out your way and act like an ass? I'm going to treat you like one, you know what I'm saying? She deserved to get the shit smacked out of her that day, like, you know what I mean?
Second question, how much would it cost for you to do it?
All right.
Be completely honest.
Just give me a number and I'm going to say yes or no.
That guy to do that shit?
Yeah, to face it. How much would it cost?
Give me a number and I'm going to say yes or no.
Would you do it for 300,000?
Yes. I'm going to deface it and then I'll get my check and I'm going to go back out there and paint that shit back over yellow. Thanks for the bread, dickhead. They want to play the game, we can play the game.
Nah, you got to stand by it.
I'm not standing by shit. How they going to stop me from standing by
That's
it?
the contract.
No.
Once
it go in my bank account, that shit is truck. Or I'm going to give my young boys 50,000 to go paint back over it.
Alright, you trying to like trick the system. You can't do nothing. You gotta stand by it.
No,
they trick the system all the goddamn time.
Nah, I know, but in this question, I'm just saying, like, it's like saying, like, if you get 3 wishes, how many wishes you can get? I want unlimited wishes. Like, you can't do that shit.
I can't do it.
You can't do it.
There's no way they stopping me from going back out there, though. Or me using my money to go paint back over it.
They might double up security. If it was a host, a lot of people can't get on that shit the way that she did. If they allowed it to happen
Did you
that
see
way,
it? It looked like somebody let her in that
that's my point.
off John.
Yeah, like they let you in there, but they ain't let nobody else in there after that, like yesterday.
I'll go to jail for it. I'll go to jail for it. I got
That's the thing. That's my thing. It was a host. You're not going to jail. Like Trump got your back. You're getting paid, but everyone outside know you was the guy that did that. That's the only thing
I'm saying I would risk going to jail in order to paint back over it.
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying.
I got lawyer money, I got bail money. What they gonna do? It's the same thing as spray painting. What charge am I about?
I love my family. We could use the money and that will really reset some shit, but
Would you do it for $1 million?
With this.
Goddamn.
Yes, listen, that military.
I'm turning that 300,000 to $1 million.
Goddamn.
The fuck? 300,000? Alright, bet. I'm in the game now.
I'm saying, you know us, man. My mind probably slapped the shit out of me if I said I wouldn't do that shit, like to drop some paint. You know how much shit I done did.
I still know what I stand for. I still know what I love. I still fucking pay.
I don't know if I do it for 300,000 right now. I'm saying I don't know if they put that money in my face. But for $1 million, I'm definitely doing it. And my biggest thing is this: like now, you can't go back on your word, but you can definitely speak on it. I'm gonna tell niggas exactly what it was, and I will actually make sure. Like I would honestly make sure I at least use some of that money. I mean, I would do it regardless of if I got the money doing this or not. But put it towards some good use in the Black Lives Matter community. 700,000.
Just 300,000, right? We in the middle of a housing crisis anyway. Right. You know how many cribs I'm about to buy for 40, 50,000? It's like going to $1 million.
Turn that 300,000.
And then that bill going to 10 million. All I need is $300,000 to get in the game.
I'll skip that step of 300,000 to $1 million. I'm going to work from $1 million to 10 million.
So you willing to do it for 300,000? What's the fuck?
Like I said, I'm not going. I'm saying right now, I don't know, but I know for a fact
I would do it for $100K.
I would definitely do it for $1 million.
Once I get $100K, I'm in the game. That's all I need.
I'm in the game.
10K? Alright, no.
What game you in, bro?
What you mean? Flipping? Real estate, nigga. I ain't flipping no fucking bricks, nigga. Flipping these cribs.
Sure you ain't one of them dumbass niggas that says,
come on now.
I'm out here about to be like, what you calling from Ace Boogie.
Beat him full.
Yeah.
No, that's
I'm talking about The Wire. I was just saying his name, but beat him from The Wire. That was a good Yeah, so
That's that.
yeah, that was really that. Like I was still thinking about the shit that he was saying. Me thinking on everything that he was saying, I was sitting there like not even really focused.
Now, if I'm just gonna do it just to go buy a car and buy some clothes and like, yeah, it ain't worth it. I know what I'm about to do with that bread.
Okay. Wow.
And listen, with that bread, I'm gonna make a bigger impact on the community than probably what the fucking Black Lives Matter movement doing. What the fuck is they doing?
Okay.
I'm gonna make a
I believe that.
I'm gonna make a
That's
bigger impact in my community. I don't know about the whole world, but in my community, once I get that 300,000 to change North Philly, then they gonna do it.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if like a story come out or that woman come out and be like, listen, they paid me 120,000, everybody gonna be like, I would have did it too. Honestly, most niggas is gonna do it. But moving on from that, but sticking into like the black community, I did want to give a second to just highlight the death of John Lewis that happened recently. And
Respect.
while I didn't know much about him due to like the fact that I'm pretty young, but I could have educated myself. Yeah, like I could have educated myself on him, but I didn't know much about him. What I have heard from people like Kev and like all over the internet is the fact that he was around for a lot and he had his hands in a lot as far as helping our community on a like daily, yearly basis, like from start to finish. When you talk about the March in Selma and you talk about things to current day, like
We really don't
he
got
was
too many of them
one of
left.
those bridges. Yeah, exactly. And we don't have.
Once our
Yeah,
Sharp
right,
leave, like who else we really? Jesse Jackson. Once those people move on, like that's gonna be an end of an era. Like
Yeah, and
if
it's
you
like,
got somebody that
you
your
can't get that
grandma
back.
or your great grandma that's still alive to this day, talk to them, right? The light still got the chance.
So
How
that's
was
right.
it? You mean
It was
how did you
Dr.
feel? Is
Jones.
that a third? Because once they gone, it's all textbooks. You know how they do.
Yeah.
So
I love hearing old stories anyway. Like not the ones that sad, but like just understanding how much time changed and how
like,
much
I just
time
want to know about
has
your
changed.
neighborhood, what you used to do.
Yeah,
shit
like
that.
what
I love that
you
shit,
really
bro.
get into. But I like highlighting that stuff. But I just wanted to take a moment to say that very important person in our community, like very valuable asset. I don't know how he was as a person, but from what I've seen, like very good man, stood on like what he believed and tried to make a lot of stuff happen for us. So that was really my last thing. Either one of y'all
You
guys
said you
say
still
about
don't
it?
like what he believed.
Yeah, I said he seemed to have stood on what he believed.
Oh,
right?
okay.
Through the videos that I've seen, through the information I've seen. Because I don't know him personally, nor did I watch much of him. So I'm not commenting as if I know him. I'm just saying from what I've seen lately, it seemed like that's the type of guy he was. Because I don't know, some shit could come up that he did that I have no clue he did. And I'm sitting there saying this or that. That's what I'm saying. From what I've seen, or from what I know, he seemed like a stand-up guy.
I mean, I ain't got nothing to say necessarily towards it, not in the sense of anything negative, but, just know your history. Learn your history.
Educate yourself.
Educate yourself.
Because they won't educate us at all.
Progression as to where we are now and, some of the things that are changing now is stuff that he really was a pillar for fighting for, bringing to the forefront, sometimes making those speeches or, doing those protest walks or taking those arrests to make that point or whatever the case is. He was a part of it. And, you truly need to pay respect to the history of what all he's done and been a part of, to not only respect it, but to know what all we still have to do to get to where we need to go. But, rest well, soldier. I mean, your work is evident and still in the works, but, now you're on the angel side, so you can continue to help and push forward, but, thank you. Bottom line, if I could say anything to him, I'd just say thank you. We take it from there.
Sometimes I wish I was alive, like during the civil rights era, to see like how would I like risk everything and go fight with them, or would I just
Lived your life.
yeah?
Trying to get by, stay out.
Like, I wish I could have been involved in that. Like
I feel like that's
parents,
a really hard thing to decide.
I tell my parents at every stage of it, from slavery out of Iran, Jim Crow, I'd have fought back and probably been killed. My parents scared right now if I get stopped by the cops because they know me. I mean, I'm fucking educated, one, so, I know what the fuck I'm entitled to, but at the same time, I got a mouthpiece. I could draw. You know, I definitely snap and get argumentative. You know, sometimes
I feel like you developed that though.
I mean,
You got that sense of identity. You developed it. You wasn't born with nothing and
no.
stripped of everything.
No,
It's easy to say we run away now.
Yeah, but now that driving force back then was fear.
Yeah,
like, you had to watch some of them niggas get whipped.
But see, to an extent, I hear what you're saying. To an extent, I hear what you're saying. But at the same time,
because you're a Kevin,
right?
They had no identity. They weren't. Who were you? Where you gonna run away to?
I am a rebel. Mm-hmm. I think honestly, but
it don't matter what life
so that's just it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like that's all y'all want to go to the party. I'm staying home. Mm-hmm. Y'all saying we have to go to this store? I want to go to that one. Mm-hmm. Just we all gotta wear red. I'm coming in white.
Just because.
Just that. That is
that's me sometimes like
to the
very headstrong and stubborn.
And it's not a thing of it's a rebel, but I'm not trying to be a rebel. Just not always going to conform.
And it's kind of happens. I make not a thought process.
My own job. I make my own lane. So yes, Kevin in today's world is not Kevin that will be born then, but if it's any connection to this Kevin, I'm a rebel.
I think for me,
put your head down.
I think I would like right now in 2020. I would say, all right, yeah, I'll run away. But if I was born back then and I was in there, I honestly don't know what I would do. You gotta realize that they didn't even speak fucking English. They couldn't read. There's no Google Maps to say, all right, this is how I walk to fucking north. Like you don't know where to go. You don't know what to do. You have no money. You can't do shit. That's like us right now. You take us three right now. Strip us of everything and put us on Mars. What the fuck? We don't know shit. We don't speak alien language. We don't know where to go.
Putting me on Mars freely to allow me to explore is one thing.
Yeah, that's different.
To put me in some place where the fuck I know I'm in bondage.
No, Mars was just an analogy of it's an extreme land. We don't know what the fuck is going on.
No, I overstand.
You put us to Mars and put us in bondage. What the fuck we gonna do?
Yo, look, I ain't gonna hold you.
We're gonna run away to
I'm
where?
trying to find the edge of this.
Yeah, I'm about to say to some of them, like
jump
up
over
here,
jump off the
shit. That would be me.
Some of them people like being up here, like in this area now, which back then was considered free, was like a myth. Like some of the people living down south didn't think that, or they come up here, they're gonna be free. So it's like there was a lot to do, like to actually run. And I feel like if I was out there,
I'm lazy. I don't even think I would have been doing that walk. Like that shit, bro. You know how long it take to walk?
Not even that, to throw the game court. Like I said, fear was the driving force back then, and it either made you conform or want to run.
You fight.
And I feel
fight
like
or flight. Like
I feel like
how
if it was
much
me,
was
I don't know how much
like,
was. I mean, you wasn't getting your ass whipped every day. That's a lot better.
Like if you really around as a free man.
Yeah, you could possibly earn some money, like as a slave.
What job?
What exactly?
I mean, I ain't gonna hold you.
You had a little opportunity. Certain jobs,
you know,
jobs and opportunities was not like you think jobs and opportunities.
Yeah, like back then, man, you could.
Everybody had a skill or a trade. You know, people did craftsmanship and handwork and
all they know is picking cotton and picking this and
but I ain't gonna, it wasn't just picking
now
cotton.
Manual labor, they probably could do that.
But
like man, you need to carry this and carry that.
But what did they turn that cotton into, yo? It was way more than that. You know what I'm saying? Even from your battlefields to your fucking cotton fields, women and slaves did way more
slaves
than
from
just
what I've heard
manual labor.
A lot, like they did everything around the slave house. Like they didn't just pick cotton. It was made something broke. They had to like learn to fix it. Like they did stuff, and that's how like over time they became.
But I'm saying like once you go up to north, what connections or research do you have to find the people who need that?
It's people that supported that. Like people that supported slaves will be there to help you. Not every time, but
they don't know. They don't know that. They just got to take the leap of faith that I hope that. I mean, are you willing to wish your child's life to
like this? Like Carrie, tell me. Did she know there was going to be people that eventually help her?
But everybody's not taking that leap of faith.
But that's what you're saying. Though. We're talking about the fighters. Mm-hmm. The people that's not going to do it, we already know.
Not gonna do it.
And my point was, back then, I probably would. I don't know if
that's
I
what I'm saying. I
probably
would have
stayed. Faith. I don't think that. I feel like I'm pretty calculated. Why I'm stubborn, it depends. If I had a family, if I was alone. If I was alone, I have nothing to lose.
Right.
But yeah, if you do have a family, that is another thing. But
am I willing to risk my daughter getting slaughtered in my face.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah, my biggest thing is that's too far back for me to say. But civil rights time, I could do that.
But what would be your trade-off? So I take the gamble of running with my kids and she possibly being killed, us escaping to better, or I stay here and allow them to rape her as many times as they want, and I can't do a damn thing. You know what I'm saying? Like those circumstances, you got me fucked up. Everybody get your shit and we running. Mm-hmm. If we die together. If we go as a unit. Like,
I can respect that. Like it's hard. It's a hard choice to make, but I can respect the thought process behind it because as long as you are their property, they can do what you as they please. If they do want to kill you just to make an example out of you, you can do nothing wrong, and that can happen. Like watching like a lot of movies that like portray how life was back then. At the end of the day, it was a massacre. Like it was the worst. Like most of the people today, like thrown back in that time, like just as viewers, would pass out at the sight of that shit. Like I don't think I can stomach watching it. Like, it's horrible to see some of the shit they did, like cutting pregnant women's stomachs open.
I can't watch the movies like that and go outside.
That's shit have blood boiling. I'll have you ready to really.
I'll be ready to hurt somebody
bro,
of a different nationality just off the strip. So no.
Even
I completely understand where you're going.
The movie that was recent, it wasn't even back in slavery time. The one that you had first told me about, that was on Netflix about the 5 boys in New York. That was wrongly convicted about the white guy. Yo, when I seen that, I was pissed. Yeah, now they see it. I was pissed after watching that, cause seeing what they went through and how they were like forced to fabricate a story and how it changed their life. Like 5 boys that did nothing wrong. Yeah, it is. But I'm saying like watching it in that level and literally like watching it all. Like we see it happen on social media, but that's a 1-minute clip. I got to watch a movie showing their life from like teenagers. And all the stuff they went through to now, especially the main, the guy that I seen as the main character, Corey Wise, like, bro, he went through
hell. He got the worst.
Bro,
you know what I'm saying? It was crazy. He wasn't there. He had nothing to do with it. But, to be wrong, raised in those circumstances or whatever.
Shit happened to my friend.
Who? Very fun.
Well, it's not funny, but this was like probably my freshman year of college.
Okay.
So, like when you graduate high school, like shit get real, like life get real.
You gotta grow up.
So, some of my friends, they was on the block, whatever, they got their sneaks and all that shit, they get their little hoopies and shit. Mm-hmm. So my friend, he was working at Taco Bell. He went out on the block with them. I don't even think he really wanted the bread. It was just like, to be around your friends. Like, we still in high school, we always together, like, you just want to be chilling in the block with your friends or whatever. So, some shit ended up happening, niggas got into a fight, this, that, and the third, niggas went down their way. Guns and shit. He wasn't there. Like, to be honest, he not good for that life. Like, he just wanted to be with his friends. So, when they went down there to the bull house or whatever, they shot up his mom's crib or whatever. Nobody got hit in there, but they shot up the crib. So, probably like, I don't even know how long ago later, maybe 2 weeks, maybe a month or whatever. Mm-hmm. He's standing outside a donut, the donut store. No, it's like a little Asian joint. So one boy that was there.
Somebody want an air terminal?
Yeah, air terminal. That's exactly what we're saying. Margaret Orthodox. Yeah. It was one person that was actually there who actually shot the gun. My friend that I'm talking about who wasn't there, and one random ass boy that they don't know from a can of paint. Like, boy had nothing to do with that. They booked all 3 of them niggas.
Jeez.
None of them got bread for lawyers or bond or none of that shit. My man, he ended up doing a year and a half because he ain't got bread for bail or whatever. Until they finally was like, all right, we don't got no proof. We're gonna just throw the case out and you good with time served. The other boy who had nothing to do with it, he tried to hang himself in there. Like, they don't know boy. Like, he is a stranger to them. He tried to hang himself. He ended up, I think he got some bread up for bail, whatever, got out, and his shit got thrown out too. Mm-hmm. So, but like, they got nothing to do with that shit, but just because we don't got, but they could have easily been coerced to, like, the young boys at the Central Park 5, they was like 15, 16. Mm-hmm. Like, you told me I can go home? I did. I'm sorry. And you see that shit.
You have to get spanked around a little bit and like being held down.
They was 18 and 19 and shit like that. But a 15 and 14-year-old, I probably see that shit too. I don't know. You tell my mom she can't come in and nothing like that.
And then like you even gotta think like when their parents came in, they started to convince their family like, listen, what you gotta do is sign this and he can go. and then boy, dad, the other dude's
told
sister,
him
like
to
they was
see
really
him.
trying, and especially I think it was a Hispanic guy. Like his dad was sitting there like, listen,
I
bro.
had to talk to my kids about that. You know what I'm saying? You know, I got those teenagers. You know, I had to tell them. First and foremost, if you ever get pinched, don't say nothing about nothing. Not until, you know, you get a parent around and make sure you contact it or whatever. But to just see that whole joint go down and to understand what all they went through, serving anywhere between 6 to almost 14 years for something that they truly had nothing to do with. Some of them weren't even there that night. It's just crazy. But again, the narrative of how cops do and the way they treat some people would be crazy. But it is what it is.
Okay.
Man, what
I
you
got a cousin in jail right now doing that. I think he's been in jail since 2006, and it's for a kid got shot and paralyzed. He didn't even die, but he got shot and paralyzed. It was very sad, and he didn't do it. Crazy thing is, a family member did it, and they know they did it. They are walking free, and they just let him in jail for it. I'm like, to have a feeling like that, bro, it'd be the worst thing in the world to me.
I know
he's
people-
serving life. Like he
I know people like
That was
go on the
a scary
snitch
track.
culture and all that shit and shit like that. But if you a fucking stranger, that shit don't got shit to
it
do
was
with
his
it.
own brother.
But if you really my brother, you really my friend, and you know you did that shit, and I'm riding in jail, if we really got that connection, you supposed to be a man and take up for that shit.
That's
now, if I can understand if it's a stranger who fucking got locked up for it, like I don't know that nigga, fuck him. But if it's your brother and you really that person, you supposed to be a man and stand on it.
Blood brother, and it was a serious strike. That's why he doing life. Like he got like however many years. It's a lot. It's more than 100. Like they threw years on top of years of that. And the other dude would probably did like 5 to 10. Like he be out now. Like he wasn't gonna be in there that long. It would have been his first like real offense. And I'm like, bro, I'd be pissed. Like I would have probably like, I'm not gonna say gave up, but low key gave up in there mentally, like knowing that. But like he's strong. He in there like just kind of living life at this point is normal. But like to people that are wrongly convicted. But it's hope that you can one day get free. Like my biggest thing is just don't give up. Like hearing some miracle stories about people that's been in jail for 20 years, out of nowhere, someone picked up the case and found the loophole or found this wasn't right. That's amazing. Like it don't happen enough, but it's truly amazing, man. But I feel like that's like a good spot to wrap it up here. We touched on a lot of things, and it was a good episode, man. So it's Kai,
Kev,
Stay.
ScreamATMePodcast, y'all. We out.
I'm from a block where these niggas get locked and go back. Where the money that you see ain't legal, it's all traps. All black mask, coat zip it up, he gon' blast. Anybody plotting on me, that's a death force. All niggas hop out the V, get your head right dot right on his T. He get